Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk to you guys about how I was diagnosed and let you know my reaction and how that went and all that good stuff. It's a very, very long story, but I will spare you the details, and I'm going to try to remember as much as I can, even though it was in March of this year, but so much has happened since then, and that whole time when I was being diagnosed and everything, pretty fuzzy. I don't remember much, but I'll try my best. So, basically, before all this had happened, in October last year, 2011, I was in a minor car accident, and I developed this little bump. It was probably like that size. It was really small. It wasn't big at all, on the side of my neck. And right here on my collarbone, it was swollen, like right here, and there was like a little lump too, and it was like pushed out. So basically I thought, that it's from the accident. What else is that from? And it just developed right after the accident. So a month after, I started seeing a chiropractor, and I was seeing this chiropractor up until February, and he had told me that the little bump on the side of my neck was a cyst, and the swollenness right here on my collarbone was a shifted collarbone. So obviously I'm believing everything that he's saying because A, he's a doctor, and B, I had just gotten in a car accident. So March rolls around, and I started a new job in March, and I was there only for a week and a half. But for that whole week I was working there, I was picking and lifting up boxes, going upstairs, going downstairs with the boxes. And I was always in pain at the end of the day. And each day I was working there, I looked at my neck, and it was somewhat bigger than that little ball. So I was kind of getting concerned, but I wasn't, because I just thought it was from the accident and from lifting and stuff. Like, it was just swollen, and so I would just take Tylenol and stuff for the pain. But then it was Friday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. I had come home, and I made dinner, and I cleaned, just did my normal stuff, and then I just sat down and started crying because I was in excruciating pain. Like, this thing on my neck was making my whole neck hurt, making my back hurt, and, everything. And so I called my mom crying, and I told her, oh my gosh, Mom, this pain is unbearable. Like, it hurts so bad. And so she was like, okay, well, we're going to go to the ER tomorrow. And she knew that I was in an accident. She knew, she saw the lump, but she didn't see it that week of how, much it grew and how much bigger it was than that little ball. So she says, okay, we're going to go to the ER. So first thing, Saturday morning, we go to the ER. I get in 15 minutes, and I see the ER doctor, and he basically just does some chest x-rays. He does x-ray of my back. He does x-ray of my neck right here. And he comes back to my room, and he has this look on his face, like he's scared to tell me what he's about to tell me. And he comes back and he says, so the scan showed that it's not a cyst. And I was just like, okay, what the hell is it? What the hell is this big ass lump on my neck? So he comes closer to me, and he gets one of those, the little rolly chair things, and he scoots towards me, and he looks at me, and he takes a deep breath, and he goes, what I think it is Hodgkin's lymphoma. And, oh no, I'm sorry, he didn't say Hodgkin's lymphoma, he just said, what I think it is lymphoma. And I was like, okay, and that's all I said. And, all he said was that he's going to admit me to the hospital, and we're going to do some tests, and just to make sure that that's what it is, all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. So he leaves, And I look over at my mom to ask her what the heck lymphoma is, and she's crying. And so I was like, kind of freaking out, because I'm like, why is she crying? Like, she knows what lymphoma is? Like, so I asked her, I was like, Mom, what's lymphoma? I have no idea. I had no idea what lymphoma was. No idea. So I asked her, I was like, Mom, what's lymphoma? And she took a minute, and she was like, it's a type of cancer. And I was like, oh. Like, just like that. Like, I didn't even know, like, what to say. I was in shock, and I didn't even get sad right away. I think I was just in so much shock that I didn't know what to say, you know? I don't even know. That whole time is like a blur almost. So, I get out of ER, I get admitted to the hospital, and Monday comes around and they tell me, oh, you're going to have your biopsy to see if lymphoma is what you have. So the end of Monday comes around, and they tell me that the OR ended up getting overbooked, and so I have to wait till Tuesday. So I have all this anxiety of, oh my gosh, I could possibly have cancer, and on top of that, I was in the hospital, and I hate the hospital because it smells. There's a bunch of older people that are sick and not in good health, and their food is disgusting. But anyway, so they tell me that I'm going to have my biopsy on Tuesday. So then Tuesday comes around, I have my surgery, I have the biopsy in my left armpit. I have a scar right there, you see? Right there. That's where they took out a lymph node. And then I had also a bone marrow biopsy to see if anything was in my bone marrow. So I get the results on Wednesday, and on March 22nd, which was Wednesday, they confirmed that I had Hodgkin's lymphoma, and they also confirmed that it was stage 3B, which stage 3B means that you have the cancer in your chest, on both sides of your neck, and which in the chest is above my diaphragm, and also below my diaphragm. And then stage 4 would mean that it's in your bone marrow, and thank God for me that it wasn't in my bone marrow. So yeah, I had stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma, is what they confirmed. So from there, the oncologist that was on call that night had told me that he didn't want any delays and wanted to start treatment right away. And as soon as he said treatment, I was like, treatment, oh, chemotherapy, and immediately got scared, because once I heard chemotherapy, I was like, oh shit, like, I'm gonna lose my hair. Not this hair, like, this is a wig, but I'm gonna lose my hair. And obviously other things scared me too, because I didn't know what chemotherapy was and how they did it and all that stuff. But all I was concerned about was, oh my gosh, like, I'm going to lose my hair. So we start my first chemotherapy that Thursday. And that was pretty much all day Thursday. It was a long process. And then I still had to stay overnight because I had to get this shot called Neupogen. And this shot boosts your white cell count. It has to, because the chemo wipes all those out. And the injection brings your count back up and gets you ready for your next treatment. Because you can't have your next chemo treatment without that shot, because if you go in for your next treatment and your cell count is low, then you could get really sick and you could go to the hospital, all bad things. So 24 hours after my chemo treatment, I got the shot. So that was Friday night I had got the shot. And he told me, okay, you can go home tonight, or you can just wait it out and go home Saturday morning. And I was like, no, I think I'll go home, Friday night. I was at the hospital for a week, and I didn't want to be there a night longer. So, yeah, that's basically my story of when I was diagnosed. So, if you guys have any questions or want to ask me anything about that, feel free. Yeah, so thanks for listening, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.